With so many Garmin golf watches, choosing the right one feels almost impossible. After real-world testing, I only found 7 that truly deliver on the course. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly which Garmin watches are worth your money and help you pick the perfect watch for your golf game. So let's do this. Now the first watch is Garmin's flagship golf watch. And guys, this is the watch that I personally like to wear almost every day. I love this thing. If you're looking for a Garmin most advanced golf-specific watch, this is it. It's the Garmin Approach S70, which starts at about 650 bucks. Now this is their top dog in their golf-focused lineup. That means every feature on this watch has been designed to center around making the best possible companion for your game. But here's the thing, it's also built as a totally badass smartwatch for off the course too. And that's why it's not cheap. But you're getting a razor-sharp AMOLED screen, full-color maps of more than 43,000 courses, in-depth performance, insights, and a surprisingly strong suite of health and fitness tracking tools. In fact, this thing does so much that it's starting to blur the line between a golf watch and a full-blown multi-sport smartwatch. But let's break this thing down. First off, the screen here is a big deal. It's easily one of the most impressive displays Garmin's ever made, and it makes a real difference when you're looking at hole layouts, green contours, or even just checking the time. Now the overall feel is more premium than any other watch in the Approach series. As for the golf features, you've gotten everything Garmin comes up with, which is a lot. Now, there's no golf watch out there from any company that's even more loaded than this watch. I'm talking things like wind speed and direction, a virtual caddie that actually learns your game and makes club recommendations, and it does work because I used it out on the course and I made a video on it. It has hazard maps, a pinpointer, stat tracking, and it's compatible with Garmin shot tracking tags as well. It just goes on forever. Now, if you ever looked at a Garmin golf feature and thought, I wonder if that does that, the answer is yes. But then on the health and smart side of things, you've got things like a wrist-based heart rate monitor, sleep tracking, body battery, pulse ox, stress tracking, smart notifications, Garmin Pay, music storage, VO2 max, and your fitness age. Honestly, this thing has everything and it's still just a golf watch. One of the most impressive things about the Garmin S70 is how good it is off the course. It tracks your training, it tracks your recovery, it'll track your naps. You got 10 days of battery life in smartwatch mode and up to 20 hours in GPS mode. But seriously, I wear this thing every day and I think the battery life is actually much larger than that. But how does the Garmin S70 compare to the Garmin golf watches in this lineup? Well, compared to the Garmin Approach S50, this is a significant upgrade in nearly pretty much every category. There's more golf data, there's deeper fitness insights, and overall higher end finish. But it's also $250 more expensive than the S50. So the S70 is clearly for golfers who want and will use the absolute best golf watch. Now, if you compare this to the higher end Fenix 8, you're gonna be trading off some rugged outdoor tools and battery life, and you're also gonna get a slimmer profile in the S70 than the Fenix 8, which kind of helps, especially when you're trying to swing the club. Now, the Fenix 8 does have a broader multi-sport utility, and the S70 feels just more tailored for golf. But in the end, who is this watch for? If golf is your main sport and you want a watch that brings every possible tool to your game, which also doubling as great as a smartwatch and a fitness tracker, then the S70 is the one to buy. It's a premium choice in the golf-specific lane for Garmin. All right, now let's talk about the beast that I'm actually wearing right now. It's the Garmin Fenix 8. So if the Garmin Approach S70 is the sleek, purpose-built golf specialist, the Fenix 8 is the tougher, more versatile counterpart. This is for the person who golfs, sure, but also likes to run marathons, which I don't do, hike mountains sometimes, and probably knows how to start a fire with a rock. Nope, don't know how to do that, but this is a very cool watch. Now, this is Garmin's most advanced multi-sport watch that still plays incredibly well on the golf course. And while the $1,000 Fenix 8 wasn't built as a golf-first watch, it absolutely earns a spot in the guide just because of how much it brings to the table. I made a whole video about it, guys. I legitimately think that the Fenix 8, which wasn't even supposed to be a golf watch, might be Garmin's best golf watch. Think of it this way, if you want everything Garmin knows how to do in a smartwatch and you want it wrapped in a rugged, tactical style body that feels like it could survive a fall off a cliff, then this is the watch to get. But let's dig in a little bit. What you get is an AMOLED display, or memory and pixel if you go for one of the solar models, and an onboard LED flashlight, which is actually kind of cool. Actually, this flashlight goes white and red. No, don't joke. Full topo, a satellite mapping, and insane battery life for something with this much tech. And depending on your setting and the model size you choose, you're talking multiple weeks in smartwatch mode and dozens of hours in GPS mode. And the golf stuff, it's all here. It's literally like the S70 on steroids. Full color course view maps, play-like distances, wind speed and slope adjustments, green contours, virtual caddie, stat tracking, and compatibility with Garmin shot tracking sensors. But it doesn't look like a golf watch. Believe me, it does the job and then some more, but what separates the Fenix 8 from the S70 or the S50 is how much further it goes outside the world of golf. Here's why. You've got advanced performance metrics like real-time stamina, training readiness, VO2 max, multi-band GPS for insane accuracy in the woods or the mountains or off-roading or pretty much any backcountry you would go in. It comes with preloaded maps, turn-by-turn navigation for trails and hikes, dive features, that's right, dive features, ski dynamics, triathlon support. I mean, basically every sport is on this watch. Now, a legit LED display, which might sound like a gimmick, but this thing is super nice. It's also got a built-in speaker, and mic for phone calls, voice commands, and text response. So when you pair this with your phone, you get all the smart notifications. It's like having an Apple Watch, but way better. Now, it also comes with Garmin Pay, music storage, and all the health and wellness features you could expect. You have wrist-based heart rate, sleep tracking, body battery, pulse ox, stress levels, the works, literally everything. And it's all packed into a rugged, ultra-durable titanium or steel case with multiple size options. We have a 42, a 47, and a 51 millimeter. So you can find the right balance of screen size, comfort, and battery life. But how does the Fenix 8 compare to the S70? Well, the Fenix 8 is a more serious multi-sport tool. You're getting broader fitness, training, and navigation features, but you lose a little of the golf-specific polish. The interface isn't as golf optimized, let's call it. And there's no whole layout, bezel, or dedicated golf styling. But functionality, you got all the same golf brains. But if you compare this to the S50, it's no contest. The Fenix 8 is another league in this term of mapping, fitness tracking, training insights, and durability. It's also about twice the price. So this is definitely an invest in your entire lifestyle type of watch. But who is this watch for at the end of the day? If golf is just one of the things you do and you want the most powerful, rugged, do-it-all Garmin smartwatch available, the Fenix 8 is the one to get. It's for the golfer who also likes to ski and run and hike and needs a tool that can actually keep up with their day. This is the watch for the hardcore, the explorers, the athletes, and yeah, it also does a pretty killer job when you're out on the golf course. Now, if there's a single Garmin golf watch that hits just the right balance of features, price, and usability, it's probably the Approach S50, which comes in at about $400. Now, this is where Garmin really starts to blend solid golf tech with the stuff you'd expect from a modern smartwatch. And that's what makes the S50 so appealing. It's not just a simple golf watch. It's a watch that you'll actually want to wear when you're not out on the course. But let's get more into it. At its core, the S50 gives you everything a recreational golfer would need. Distances to front, middle, and back of the green. Full color maps of over 43,000 plus courses, hazard views, scoring, and plays like distance. And you can also pair it with Garmin's club tracking sensors too for automatic shot detection. But what really separates it from more basic models like the S12 and the S44 is that the S50 starts to feel like a real smartwatch, not just a golf smartwatch, if that makes sense. Now you're getting a crisp 1.2-inch AMOLED touchscreen display that's easy to read even when you're in direct sunlight. The interface is smooth and responsive and noticeably more polished than its earlier models. It makes interacting with maps, features, and menus way more enjoyable than having to click buttons all the time, which is super annoying. Now, Garmin also included a suite of wellness and fitness features that add legit value, things like wrist-based heart rate, stress tracking, sleep monitoring, body battery, and multi-sport profiles. No, it's not as robust as what you would find in something like the S70 or even the Fenix 8, but it's enough to support an active lifestyle. And the battery life is strong too, up to 10 days in smartwatch mode and 20 hours in GPS mode. Now, how does the S50 compare to a more affordable S12 and the S44 and below the higher end S70? Well, compared to the S44, the S50 offers a more refined and responsive AMOLED display, more advanced features like plays-like distances, full color hazard views, expanded smart and wellness tools like sleep tracking, body battery, and Garmin Pay. But it does all that without jumping to the S70's higher price. So if the S70 is a little out of your reach, or you just don't need every advanced feature Garmin makes, the S50 is seriously a compelling middle ground pick. But on the flip side, compare this to the S70, you're giving up a ton of stuff. like wind data, the virtual caddie, green contour maps, and the S70's bigger screen. So then who is the S50 really for? Well, I recommend it to most casual to serious golfers who want something modern and capable without breaking into like the premium pricing tier. So if you want a good screen, accurate yardages, helpful health tracking, and a touch of smart functionality, then this is the Garmin's most well-rounded option in the bunch. All right, next we got the entry-level upgrade that actually feels modern. We're talking about the Garmin Approach S44, which was just introduced in January of 2025, and it's kind of their new $300 entry-level model. They still kept the S12, but this is a big step up in terms of what it can do and how it looks. The best way I can describe it is if the Garmin S12 is the golf watch for the minimalist golfer, the S44 is for the golfer who just wants a little bit more without going completely overboard. Think of it as like the S12's more polished, slightly smarter improvement. At first glance, the S44 might not even seem like a huge step up, but the addition of a full color touchscreen alone changes the user experience in a massive way. Now, it comes with a 1.2-inch AMOLED screen, which is bright, vibrant, and far more enjoyable to interact with compared to the S12's basic black and white display. Now, you still get the core golf functionality that Garmin is known for, such as yardages to the front, middle, and back of a green, hazard and dogleg, 43,000 preloaded courses, scorekeeping, auto hole advance, shot distance tracking, it is manual. But now it's all easier to see. It's faster to use and just looks way better. Now the S44 also introduces basic smartwatch capabilities, so you can get text, call, and app notifications when it's paired to your smartphone. And while you're not getting heart rate or sleep tracking here, those minor smart features are just a nice bonus for anyone who wears their watch off the course. As for the battery life, it's very solid. Expect to about 10 days in smartwatch mode and up to 15 hours in GPS mode. But how does the S44 then compare versus to the S12? Well, S44's biggest upgrade is the full color AMOLED touchscreen, a sleeker design, and smart notifications. Now, you're paying about $100 more, but the jump in user experience and daily wear appeal is absolutely noticeable. Now, compared to the S50, the S44 is more of a dedicated golf watch, while the S50 is leaning towards full smartwatch territory with health and fitness features. So if you care about sleep tracking, heart rate monitoring, or fitness workouts, then just skip the S44 and go straight to the S50. So who is this for? Well, the Garmin Approach S44 is perfect for golfers who want a more modern, touch-friendly interface without driving into smartwatch or fitness features. If you don't need heart rate, but you do want something that looks and feels like it belongs in 2025, then the S44 is a smart, straightforward upgrade, and it's the one to check out. Next up on my list is the Garmin Approach S12, and also the G12, which are essentially the same product, except for the S12 is a watch and the G12 is a belt clip. Now, both the S12 and the G12 are just no-frills GPS for golfers who just want simplicity, but want a ton of accuracy. It doesn't do fitness tracking, it doesn't show hole layouts, but it's light and it's fast and it's easy to use, and it looks great in the sun even though it's in black and white. So if you're a golfer who wants clean, accurate yardages but don't want to either wear a watch or just clip it to your belt and don't want to spend a ton of money, then both the S12 and the G12 are an affordable option. Now the S12 comes in at about $200 and the G12 is about $150. It's a great entryway into the GPS world without having to spend a ton of money. Now, the next product is the Garmin G80, and it's kind of like a unicorn. It's not a watch, it's not just a GPS unit, but it's definitely not your typical launch monitor either. It's all three, and it's in a handheld device that's totally unique. The $500 Approach G80 gives you distances, yes, but it also gives you launch data, from your swing speed to your ball speed to estimated carry distance. This is the only Garmin device that can be used as both a GPS and a launch monitor, which is actually pretty crazy. Now, the G80 features a bright 3.5-inch touchscreen display that's big enough to see clearly but small enough to carry easily. Now, you also get the same full-color course view maps, all 43,000 of them, that a Garmin watch offers. And you also can zoom in on the hazard, view green contours, keep your score, and give you play-like distances to factor in your elevation. But here's where it separates itself from the rest. It's an integrated launch monitor. Now, it uses radar-based tech to give you club head speed, ball speed, smash factor, carry distance, and your swing tempo. Now, it isn't going to be as precise as a $2,000 launch monitor, but for the average player looking to track progress and dial in their distances, it's actually shockingly useful. Now, how does the G80 compare to, let's say, the Garmin S70 or the S50? Well, the G80 offers the same GPS course functionality, but adds launch monitor capabilities. What you lose is the convenience of having it on your wrist. Now the G80 is a handheld unit, so it's not something you're going to be wearing or using for health tracking or smart notifications. But if you already wear a traditional watch or don't want to deal with a wrist-based device, the G80 is like a perfect alternative. And who's it for? Well, it's for the golfer who wants one device that gives them more than one use case. If you want a larger screen than a smartwatch, then this is the way to go. If you want a handheld that gives you yardages and measures your shot data, this is really your only choice. Next on my list is the Garmin Approach G20. Now, I think the solar-powered G20 is gonna strike some people as brilliant and others as a gimmick. But I do have to say it's pretty cool to have a solar-powered handheld unit. And it does mean that you're never gonna have to worry about charging it or changing the batteries out. That's definitely a very nice convenience. And if you're the kind of person who loves the latest tech, I don't know of any other solar-powered handheld GPS device, so there is that. Now, the G20 gives you yardages to the front, middle, and back of a green. It also features a view of each of the green sides and shape with a manually movable pin. You can also get distances to hazards and dog legs, and you can keep score on this device. Now, the screen is monochrome, which means black and white, but it's super readable, even in the brightest of sunlight. There's no touchscreen here, and you're going to have to navigate everything with buttons, but everything is fast and intuitive. But so how does the G20 then compare to, let's say, the S12 or the G12, since they're both black and white? Well, the G20 is $300. It's basically the same core experience, but off the course, the S12 is a watch and the G12 is a much smaller, less legitimate feeling, less hefty product that's about half the price. So who's this for? Well, it's for golfers who want something different. They might really like that G20. The solar power and the screen that looks so good even in direct sunlight will be a big selling point. It's also a great option if you're someone who forgets to charge your device or keep the batteries fresh. You don't have to worry about that with the G20. So at the end of the day, which Garmin is actually right for you? Well, here's the truth. There's no single best Garmin golf watch for everybody. Some of these devices are simple, some are stripped down yardage tools, others are full-blown smartwatches with so many features, you're really gonna scratch the surface of what this thing's capable of doing. And yet, there's still others that are rugged for all-terrain beasts that just happen to be excellent golf watches as well. So here's what I'd suggest. Start with how much golf you play and how seriously you want to take it. Then think about how much you care about fitness tracking, smart features, battery life, and even things like display or brightness or style. Those answers are going to point you toward the right Garmin product for you. Because when you break it down, Garmin's done a great job. They've covered a wide range of ideal users with their product line. Where there may have been fallen short is in explaining which watch is for which user, but hopefully this guide will help you out with that. And remember, don't fall into the trap of thinking more features always mean it's a better fit. The best watch is the one that does what you actually care about and doesn't make you pay for what you don't. Guys, thanks for watching. If you can do me a huge favor, can you like and comment down below what you think is really the best Garmin watch? Do you own a Garmin watch? Do you own one of the handhelds? I just want to know. I love to hear from you guys. And if you guys can do me a huge favor and subscribe to the channel, I love doing these big guides because this is what helps me figure out what really is the best gear when I was learning how to play golf. But if you guys want to see the list of the best golf watches, not just Garmin, then check out this video right here and I'll see you out on the course.